out there. Glad you could join me. We have winter has come back here in our little, and it looks like Christmas is going to be here any moment because we have about 2 inches of snow already,
Yeah, we do
and
too.
we're going to get. Yeah, you do too, right?
Yep.
And that was Amnon, our producer. Say hello, everybody. He is
Hello,
the guy who makes
everybody.
it happen. Yeah, yeah. And again, today we had last week, we were talking about how to treat a cough. Again, if you have questions, please just go into the chat room or call. Amnon is going to tell you of how to get in touch with me. The show is so much better. And also for you, you know, I mean, how many times can you really go and ask a professional question? And I am a homeopathist. I'm classically trained. In fact, this weekend I'm going to go down for once in a while I have to go for an upgrade where we talk about cases and so on. And I'm going to be doing that. And, you know, so next Sunday, no show, but I am a professional. So please do call in, ask me questions if you have any. Um, and I will answer to the best of my ability. Amnon, how do they get in touch with me?
919-518-9773. Computers 2K Voice if you want to use Skype. Or you can always just sign into the chat and ask a question right there online. And Gisela,
Ru-
happy
Yes.
happy birthday. Happy
Well,
birthday.
yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. At this time of my life, I count backwards. I don't count forward.
You're
I count
getting
back.
you're getting better.
Well, I think
Remember that.
so. I really do think so. You know what? It's just amazing how when I see women and men too, my age, um, that are really fallen apart already. And I keep going. Why? Because I don't poison my body with almost nothing. I mean, yeah, a little bit of poison is we have to take in account because that's the way our world is. There is some air pollution, there is some electronic poisoning, all of this electronic stuff that we are using and which we are enjoying, and I am enjoying too. But it does pollute our bodies. Our bodies were not made to absorb all of this. However, there you can see of how resilient our body is. I mean, it always gets me. I am nothing but in awe of how our bodies are able to repair themselves with sometimes the smallest amount of help. And that's why I love homeopathy so much, because just with the smallest amount of a remedy, we can help our body to repair itself, to put itself right again once it's out of balance. It is just really, that's why I started the Church of Divine Healing Force. The Church of Divine Healing Force celebrates that force, that healing force that we have within each and every one of us. I don't care if you're young, if you're old, if you're poor, if you're rich, if you're sick already, you still have that healing force within yourself. And that is what makes us, that is what helps us survive. It is just amazing. I am just really, do I believe in God? Well, some people call that healing force God. Some people call it Buddha. Some people call it Allah. It is a governing force that pervades every living being and thing on our earth. And we are, as homeopathists, we work with that. We help you to survive. And now in our very precarious world where we don't know, are we going to have health insurance, are we not going to have health insurance, are we going to what are we going to be doing? So many people are on the fence, so many people are not going to be able to afford going to the doctor. It is just really, we live in a stupid, crazy world. The one constant that we can rely on is that healing force within us. And this show is geared towards that. We are geared towards, I am here to tell you of what you can do without having to go to the doctor, without having to take pharmaceuticals, without, even if you're in that unfortunate position, you can't afford health insurance, so many people are. Well, homeopathy is literally pennies against what regular allopathy cost. Now, don't we need testing, and don't we need, yes, we do. Yes, we do. And I think that is a good thing. If you need to have an MRI because they need to see what is happening inside of you, I'm all for it. But I do believe that in many areas of the world where it's not, we keep saying the third world, India or Pakistan or all the other third world. Well, listen, guys, we almost live in a third world here. And there's so many people that cannot afford anything. So if you have friends that are in that situation, tell them to listen to my show on Sundays. Because, I can give you alternatives. You can buy these remedies anywhere. You can buy them in a health food store. You can buy them at Whole Foods. You can buy them online. If you have reservations of saying, well, I don't know, I think I'm going to need antibiotics. Well, you know what? Antibiotics, and I've said that many times on this show, antibiotics only treat bacteria infections. They don't treat anything else. But we have used that as a panacea for everything. You have an ingrown toenail, antibiotics. You have a headache, antibiotics. And now the next one is physical therapy. Everybody goes to physical therapy. I think it's totally ridiculous. It beefs up our health care system, makes it more expensive because constantly we're throwing stuff at the people and say, oh, well, just go do this. Off the cuff type of thing. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. So listen to the show. Tell your friends to come and listen to the show, and you will be better off. I will give you roadmaps of what you can do in case of. And last week we were talking about cough. We did not finish that. Anybody who is listening today to the continuation, please listen and learn, because there are many remedies for cough. I think we left off the last time at belladonna. Belladonna is called a medicine that has such a broad spectrum. It really does. It is for so many things. It works. But my guiding force for belladonna has always been, if it's swollen, if it's red, if it's feverish, if it's burning pain, pretty good chance you need belladonna. Okay? So I want you to have a pencil and paper there and write down some of these things and see that you're next time prepared. Just what is written on those little vials that you buy is not always just the one that will treat. Many other, on belladonna it says on that little vial for fever. Well, belladonna treats a lot more than just fever. I have given belladonna to mastitis. Some women have in their breast mastitis, and the breast can swell very red and can be very, very painful. Belladonna works great for that. Okay. But if you have a cough that is just, this sort of like, and then you all of a sudden you go, have a violent spasm of cough, and you really feel it's a scraping sensation. You feel like you have a sore throat, but not really a sore throat. It's just sort of like everything is sort of sore and sort of ticklish, and you feel really under the weather. Belladonna. And anytime that you have a question, just put it in the chat room and say, type in your question. Amnon will interrupt me if there's a question, and I will not lose totally my thought. I promise you that. Now, the next one is that I also really, really like, and especially for animals, for dogs that get this cough, is Drosera. Drosera. And Drosera is that spastic cough. It's that cough that comes all the way from down below. It really is sort of like a bronchial cough. It is a choking cough. It sometimes is difficult to breathe with it. And it's much worse when you're lying down. Also, the time of the day that it's worse often makes the difference in the remedy selection. And this one is, if it's after midnight, if it is like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, you wake up and you have this violent cough, or your dog also, or your cat has this cough, coming from the body out. Drosera. Drosera works brilliantly for that. I have given many times Drosera to dogs and also cats, but also for children that are coughing this really, and hold their chest, like that is a Drosera cough. Now, if it is a chest, ear, respiratory infection type of thing, the nose is coming, and the children really are not, especially for children that are not really, they are sick, but they're running around and doing, and then in the evening they get whiny and sick and so on. Those children, they should really be treated with Ferrum phosphoridicum. Ferrum phos. That's really what it says on the bottle. Ferrum phos. And That one is earache, bronchitis, a little bit of running nose, maybe even a nosebleed, and this croupy cough that just will hang on forever. Ferrum fuzz, 30C, the early stages of a respiratory infection. When it's in the early stages, it works brilliantly, brilliantly. Antimonium tartaricum works for the later stages. Okay. Now, when you have a cough, let me just go here through this that I don't go over things we have had before. Just give me a second here and I will get this. Now, all coughs, any kind of a cough, will benefit from a moist vapor type of thing, because when the nasal passages and the bronchioles are moistened with a cool vapor, the cough is not as dry and as, especially for people with very dry cough. What also works really well is for cough, you don't have, it's in the middle of the night, you don't have any of these remedies available. Here's what you can do is, I mean, I've always sworn with my son and the kids that I've taken care of, is we used to use Vicks Vapor Rub. I'm sure everybody is still, but I would only put it on the chest. Okay, I would not give the Vicks that you can take internally. Just the Vicks Vapor Rub. It was made with eucalyptus and some other herbs, and it was in a Vaseline base, and it was made brilliantly. It really worked really well. And if you don't have that, maybe you have an onion, one big onion. You take that big onion and you boil it so it is almost mush. Don't peel it, okay? Don't peel the onion. Just put it in a pot, boil it. Then take it out, let it cool slightly, wrap it in a towel, and squish it onto the chest. You can do that for yourself and you can do that for your child. It will abate any kind of a bronchial problem almost immediately, and the person can go to sleep, because that's one of the problems with coughs in the middle of the night. You can't sleep, you can't get any rest, so you get sicker and you get more cold, and it's just really, it could be a vicious cycle. So do yourself a favor, always have an onion available if you don't have any Vicks or anything. Now, if you happen to have some eucalyptus, many people are using essential oils. Some eucalyptus oil, okay, in like 5 or 6 drops into a hot pot that you boiled the water, then you take it off the fire, and so there's steam. Now you put in the 5 or 6 drops of eucalyptus oil and start inhaling that. It will at first bring more of a cough. You will be more coughing, but hopefully you will be bringing up some phlegm, and that is causing the cough, and you will be able then to sleep. Okay. Now, one other that is very, very, very good, which is often is very often overlooked as a cough medicine, and that is bryonia. Now, when you use bryonia, one of the indications is should you use bryonia or should you use one of the other remedies? Well, here's a tip. If your joints are clicking, so many people of that I talk to, they have clicking joints. When they go, their arms are clicking. Their knee, it clicks. Every time they move, makes a little click. Well, one of the reasons to observe that is that these clicking joints could be an indication for later on when you're at over 70 into your 80s, that you have, much before that often, you get rheumatism or you get arthritis in there. So I would suggest bryonia. If you have clicking joints, use bryonia once a week. Okay. It helps the lubrication of the joints, but it also helps when you have a bad cough. Many of these people have a bronchial problem. Every winter they get this bronchial thing. Well, bryonia is the one that will help. And that will then, the winter will go by and, oh, you didn't have it this winter. Well, you took your bryonia. Once a week, bryonia. Dissolve it in a bottle, in a glass bottle. Shake the bottle real well. When you have taken a tablespoon or a teaspoon, it depends on what you're more comfortable with. You only need a small amount. Once a week. Okay. When you have an acute problem, like for instance, all of a sudden you reached for something and your shoulder went out. Shoulder didn't go out, but you have a strain on the rotator cuff, on the ligaments in there. If you have that, then take bryonia a little more often. Take it 2-3 times a day. The problem will abate very quickly. But the guiding force for that is this clicking joint, okay, that you have. Now, what you also, if you do have clicking joints and you don't have a cold or you don't have anything, but you have the problem that the joints hurt, the weather, we're getting this big storm on Tuesday, hopefully not, but we are very likely. Many people, including me, who have had old injuries, they're sort of like the weather vane. All of a sudden the shoulder hurts more, the neck hurts more, or the knee hurts more because that storm is coming. Well, guess what? There's a remedy that you can take, and the pain will either be completely gone or will be very, very much less. Causticum. Causticum works great for that. Okay. Again, you have these clicking joints. This is one of the guiding forces. And also what you should check is not myrrh, not muraticum, not myrrh. Very, very, very excellent for that. Now, another one that is which is, a lot of old people have that. Is when you get older, you have this tickling cough, have a little bit of shortness of breath, and when you breathe in, the nostrils are usually a little wider. You have a real problem of taking in air. You also often have a headache when you get a cough like this. Lycopodium is a great remedy for that. But here's also a guiding force for that. A guiding indication for if Lycopodium is the right one, is that the person does not always use the right word for the right thing. You know, like for instance, they say, "Oh, there is a river," but they mean a lake. Or there is a, I don't know, Amnon, give me something where it's similar but not the same. Can't think of something right now.
A mountain or a hill.
A mountain or a hill. Yeah. And that's exactly it. When they do that, then, and they have this cough. They have a little shortness of breath. They have this tickling cough. Especially when they lie down. Lycopodium clavatum, Lycopodium clavatum. Also great for memory problems. One of my favorite one is Kali Bisharom. I mean, you know, I have used Kali Bish for so many respiratory, nose, tickly cough incidences. I literally almost carry it around with me because I constantly find somebody who is this the nose, the runny nose, but it's not really runny. It's sort of stuck right in here. It's the ears are clogged. It is a croupy cough. It, you know, and if the nose runs, it's sort of egg white, thin. You know, it's not that yellow awful mucus. But if you have that, and one of your children has that, Kali Bisharom. But any of your animals who have that cough, it also works. Sometimes cats get that. Cats get this real congestion in the face, where the eyes are almost, they're closing a little bit more. They get they have these plugs in where the snot came out, but it dried. It's a little runny. Kali Bish sometimes works for that brilliantly. Also, when, sometimes when people have had a bad mental problem, like for instance, someone died and they are very, very sad, and or they lost their job, or they are very stressed, really stressed by a mental thing. It comes on very fast. Usually it's a dry spasmodic cough. It's an irritating cough. They are unable to take really a full breath and generally are very down, almost depressed. Ignatia amara works perfect for these people. Perfect. Any questions up to this point?
Not yet.
Not yet. Everybody is just listening and glued to what I'm saying. Come on, guys.
Everybody's still asleep.
Oh, please not. I hope they remembered the hour
Yep.
that we had to go forward. I kind of liked it this morning, I really did. I'm always pretty early up, and I was it was nice and sunny and really nice. I liked it. So I kind of like that we are jumping, but I find the whole thing ridiculous. It is, right? Or is it just me?
I don't, I mean, we can go and discuss it. And they said that it was set up back when farmers had to go out and do work in the field, and that's why they did. Well, I mean, go back to, but then the rest of the world is doing stuff like that too.
Absolutely. And they don't have this ridiculous system.
Yeah.
I think it came with the Industrial Revolution. It bears some research maybe to think of when this thing started. But I really do think that it was with the Industrial Revolution when people went to the factories. So they would get home when it was light and leave when it was light a little later, you know? I think somewhere I read something like that it started with that. But you know what? It's so totally ridiculous today. I mean, you know, we have electric lighting everywhere, so we don't have to worry about the light. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, well, you know,
There's nothing
I
there is nothing we can do about it. So
nope,
that's it.
nope, nope. We can't do anything about it.
Right.
But you know, it's kind of fun to talk about that rather than
Yeah.
so many other things that are equally as ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here is something. Does any of you have children? Anybody out there with children?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, you do have children. Now, especially small children.
No, we don't.
Okay. All right. If you have small children, then you know sooner or later they're going to have earaches. And there's so many small children that have bad earaches. And I mean, my heart goes out to the parents as for the children, because it's an awful thing to have an earache. Earaches, in my opinion, are one of the worst things that can befall on you, because it's usually a drawing, pulling, stinging kind of thing that really makes you restless and really unhappy. And it's not something that can easily be remedied. And so many years, I remember when my son had an earache, and he was just a baby, you know. He had 2 or 3 in a row, and they wanted to put tubes in his ears, you know, I mean, it was just, they used to do the most ridiculous stuff for earaches. They still do. The best thing that works for earaches, I don't care if you believe in homeopathy or not, but it's homeopathy. Now, myrrh oil does also, mullein oil also. But mullein oil works, it's sort of like a numbing. It just takes the pain away. It doesn't really fix it. What I'm going to tell you today can fix it. The first one, far better than most any other one, is chamomilla. Now, that doesn't mean that you give your child chamomile tea. Well, which is a good idea too, you know, to give your child chamomile tea when they have tummy ache or onset of cold or an earache. That's okay. But the homeopathic remedy, chamomilla, is really, really par excellence, calms the child down or the person. They usually, when chamomilla really is when the child is really anxious and is angry and impatient, and you say, oh, let me see, let me look at the ear, and they no, and they push you away, and they cry, and they push away anything that you want them. There's nothing that can please them, and they're just, I don't know. Has any of you have a child ever gone through this? I find it horrible. I mean, I'm just really, it's like my heart was being ripped out, and when I had to go through that with my son.
What do
But
you mean had to? A 33-year-old, and that's how she is right now.
oh my, yeah, yeah. Well, if she is, and she has that even any kind of pain, really, any
Right.
kind of pain, like leave me alone, and
Yep.
I don't want to, and I, and I'm angry and upset, and um, nothing will really satisfy,
Right.
and uh, right, a dose of chamomilla will always fix that.
Okay.
Will always, always. I used it for my horse. My horse was, when she first came, she was just so, don't touch me, don't touch me. No, I don't want to. Well, okay, you can give me that carrot, but nothing more, nothing more. Don't touch my ears, don't touch my legs, don't touch me here, don't touch me there. And I was like, horse, I got to touch you. I got to, So I started giving her chamomilla. After the third dose, I could touch her all over. Everything was fine.
But will that also help the actual earache?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Also, teasing.
Oh yeah.
Small children who are teasing. Oh my God, they can be so irritable. They can be such a trial for give them chamomilla. Chamomilla, and I would give 18C for something like that. Maybe if that doesn't finish it, that doesn't do the entire trick, hit him with a 30C. That never more than 30C. It doesn't really work. Chamomilla is not um, a, a remedy that you would give in a high potency. In a lower potency, it really works best. So that would be chamomilla. Now, if you have a person that is irritable like that, I would also give them not myrrh. Not myrrh. Not myrrh works great for those people that, I really, they can't stand themselves. They don't like anybody else. And when they are sick, they're such a bear that nobody wants to be around them. So they're really literally on their own. I used to be like that. Stay away from me. I don't want anybody. And I was the menace to doctors and nurses. Well, you know what? A couple of doses, not more, cooled my fanny down. And I am not, okay, you want to help me? At least I listen, you know? So, not that I always take their advice, but at least I listen. Those people that have anger and impatient issues is not myrrh and chamomilla. Works great. Great, 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 great. Now, the earaches that are, remember what I said with belladonna? What did I say? Hot, red, feels like inflamed, it throbs, the eyes are almost glassy and the pupils are dilated, there's a high fever, the headache, the earache is from here to here, even into the face, has a hot head, cold hands. Belladonna. Belladonna, perfect, perfect, perfect. Works great for earaches. It's a rapid onset, redness, and it's often right-sided, more right-sided than left-sided. We'll talk about that at another time. Many of the remedies have a side affinity. Some remedies are really, really designated to be more right-sided or more left-sided. If you are searching for a remedy, always take that into account. If it is more towards the right side or more towards the left side. When I was going to school and learning about homeopathy, that was one of the things that I thought was most interesting, that these remedies really have a side affinity. But that's a whole different thing that we have to talk about one day. All right. Any other? An earache? Yes. Anybody?
No.
No. Okay. Uh, what else do we have here?
What else for coughing?
What else for coughing? Well, I mean, it depends what the cough is. You,
So-
it really is. Yeah.
So you already talked about it last week and some this week. So if anybody
And
wants
some
to
this
know,
week.
then they should listen to both shows, and you covered.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay, go on.
And be glad to really don't be shy. Shoot me an email and I will answer your question. The person last week, I never did get the email. Hopefully they did send it, but I did not get any email. So if you did send an email, please send it again. It got lost in cyber heaven somewhere.
And it's right above the video here on the page.
There you go.
Where you see Gisela's name, click on it, and that will open your email program and allow you to send her an email.
Yeah. It's really amazing. I just have here a research for homeopathy, and there was a study done with homeopathy with seriously ill patients on respirators in an intensive care unit, showed that homeopathy not only effectively reduced their respiratory secretions, but also helped them come off their respirators more quickly. The length of time they spent on the unit was also shorter and without respiratory complications. Now, listen, guys, everybody always says, well, there's really no research and so on. Well, one of the problems is that everybody needs a different remedy. However, there is much research done, and we have, like, I just had a client who had a tooth pulled. Okay, she called me up and she said, well, what can I do? What can I do to make my recovery fast? I told her to take arnica right after the tooth was pulled, not before, right after the tooth was pulled, and keep taking it with, over the next few days. And she was amazed that there was no bruising, that there was no swelling, and that she recovered really pretty much so without pain. She didn't need the Oxycontin. She didn't need any of the other, and it was a back tooth. So that's usually a big tooth that can be very painful. And Annika took care of it. So, if you do what I tell you, and if you have questions, please contact me. I'm here. Now, I told you also that I started a new thing, which is called the Church of Divine Healing Force.org. Church of Divine Healing Force.org. If you want to become a member of that, click on the member thing. It doesn't cost you anything right now. It's totally free. But members will get many of these things that I'm talking on the show in hard copy into their email. Okay? So that's one of the best things at all. The second is, if you live around the Milford, PA, New Jersey, northern New Jersey towards PA area, if you can get to me, if you have pain, if you have problems, if you become a member of the Church of Divine Healing Force. And now this church, the only reason why I made this a church is because that way I applied for the 501c, so I don't have to pay any taxes on something I'm not making any money with, you know. So on top of it, it prevents me from maybe problems that, people say, well, you're practicing medicine without a license, because as you know, homeopathy is not licensed as yet. We're working on it, but it hasn't happened yet. So this is just a protection for me, a savings for you, and also a way for you to belong to something that you believe in. If you believe in homeopathy, if you believe in energy medicine, if you believe in alternative health care, go onto the site, sign up as a member. Doesn't cost you anything right now. Later on, we will charge a small fee for a yearly membership, but not right now. So go on, Church of Divine Healing Force. We don't preach about Jesus. We don't preach about God. We don't preach about Buddha. We believe, all the members, we have a few members already, which is really, I must say, people embrace that very much so, that we are saying our inner force, our healing force, which many call the immune system, we take that as sacred, and we are saying that is what is our belief, that we believe our bodies and the universe will heal us if we do take the right steps. And sometimes it's not homeopathy what we need. Sometimes it is acupressure or acupuncture. Sometimes it is a chiropractor. Sometimes it is allopathy medicine. But ultimately, and when it's all said and done, our immune system and our bodies are the ones that make the decision to heal itself, to right itself. And that is a total miracle. It's a total miracle how we were designed. Now, did God design us? I don't know. I don't know. I grew up Catholic. I believed in the Mother Church. Do I still believe in that? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm a little on the fence with all of that. I only know for a fact that our bodies can heal themselves with the right help. And with that, I'm going to leave you today. And just think about that. Click into the website. Look at it. Send me an email saying, oh, I like it. No, I don't like it. I whatever your thoughts are. I appreciate all input. Do we have anybody who has a comment on this?
Nope.
No. Everybody, like you said, everybody is asleep. Everybody is today
No, they're
comatose.
in here. They're in here, but
They are in there. Come on, guys. What do you think? You think that a church group like this, and it doesn't matter where you live. You can belong to that church wherever you are, and you will have advantages of that. You can also become a minister of the church if you like. I am a minister of the Universal Life Church. That is a non-denominational church, the Church of the Divine Healing Force. of that Universal Life Church. Now, no matter what you believe in, if you believe in Allah, if you believe in any other religion, I don't care. This is something that we need to start believing. We need to walk towards it. Now, with all this healthcare nonsense that is happening in our government, we probably need it now more than ever. We have never been in such a sad shape as it is right now with our healthcare system in this country. It's very, very sad that so many people have no insurance. And you know what? For homeopathy, you don't need, or for natural health care, you don't need any insurance. All you need to know is educate yourself. And that's what the Church of the Divine Healing Force will do. I will educate you on that side. Whenever you click in, and if you become a member, you have all the updates right into your mailbox.
A comment says any kind of a community support is beneficial.
Yes. Yes, so right. Yes, so right. And with that comment, I will say goodbye.
If you listen to the
Sorry.
show afterwards, to the last week's, you'll tell yourself what you need to take for that cough.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will listen to it. No, no, this was just, once in a while you get, when you inhale,
Yep.
you get sort of like in the wrong one. And the older you get, the more often that happens.
Yep.
But I'm not getting older. I'm getting better. Right?
Yep.
I am really excited about this new church, because I have always, ever since my going away from the Catholic Church, which I did because of personal reasons that I just found it was not something that I wanted to support anymore. And I was looking for what would be the best thing that would support what I believe, what I really believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found this and I created this, and I hope that I will have many, many people that join me in this, that believe the same way as I do. And the only way we can grow this is by you signing on, sending me emails, becoming members. Like I said, it doesn't cost a thing right now. Come later on, once we get bigger and better, and our teaching will be bigger and better, and maybe I will be able to travel a little bit and go into communities and talk about it. And maybe we have more ministers that believe also in the same thing. It doesn't matter if you do belong to your local church. That is an entirely different thing. This is it's almost like a club, and the reason why I made it a church is because I can't afford to pay, because they will ask you, if you have a business, you have to pay some kind of a taxes. If you have a like an LLC, you have to pay $125 a year on taxes, no matter if you made any money or not. But if you declare yourself as being a 1OC, even statewide, if it's not a federal one, you don't have to pay that. And that was the motivation for the church part, okay?
Yeah.
But we are off. I am off. The sun is shining. I'm going to take a nice little walk out there with my puppies. And I wish you a fabulous week. If you're on the East Coast and in that storm, stay warm. Listen to the show. There are what? How many shows are there in 2 years? 150? I don't know.
A bunch.
Well,
A
I'm
bunch.
sure a bunch. You can listen for many hours. Bye-bye. The Gisela Show. Next Sunday, no show, guys. But the following Sunday, I'm back here. Okay? Bye-bye.
You're tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section on nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by Atomos.com, makers of quality video recorders and converters, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.